Hello guys and welcome back. So in the last video we created our this task UI and if we can click on play, we were able to populate all our tasks, and we also had this what you can say, these few things like all the task and their position and all those things. So today what we are going to do is we are going to create a mini map which will basically show our player where are the tasks and where is our player located. And we also will make sure that whenever our player gets to the task location, he can do some action to complete the task. And once the task gets completed, we will just make the color of the text to be green. So this is what we will be creating today. Okay, so first we need to create few more UI buttons. So we will create a new script. So let's create a new C# script and let's call this game UI. Now game UI script will hold all the UI elements which will be inside our, or which will be basically in our gameplay mode, right? So let's go back, double click on game UI and let's add the namespace. So namespace, okay, outscale. So before we can start coding, let's create our UI. So let's double click on canvas to zoom out. Now we need two buttons. So one will be here, which will be for our minimap, and then one button will be here, which will be basically for getting some action on our task. So whenever we go near to the task, we can click on this button and then we will show the task panel. So let's create a UI panel and we will call this game panel, and the color alpha will be 0 because we don't want the alpha to be max. Now inside game panel we will right click and create a UI button, and this will be our minimap button. Okay, and let's set the height to be 55 and width to be 55, and delete the text because we have icon for our button. Then in source image, just select this circle and select the map icon. Okay, cool. So as you can see here, it is look like this. Now we want to be it here, so you can just click and drag it to the top right corner, and then we can anchor it like this. Okay, now if you want, you can always increase the size of this button, right? But for now I think this will be great. Again right click and duplicate, and this will be our task action button. So task action button, and this one will be at the bottom right. So I'll just drag it. Okay, let's drag it. Okay, let's do one thing. Select this one, holding shift and alt key, select this bottom right. Okay, cool. Now I can just drag it here. Let's make the anchor. Okay, let's set the height to be maybe 60 by 60 or maybe more, 65. And here our source image will be this square, the square with the curves, and inside that we will have a text. So add a text to it, select this, holding shift and alt key, select this so that it anchors to throughout the area of this button. Then in alignment, select Y and X to be same like in the middle, and the text will be use. Okay, use the best fit, and the color of the button will be somewhat this. So select this color, select the button. Now in this color, select this color picker and select this color. Okay, and let's anchor it. So this is how it looks. Okay, cool.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying this episode. My name is Mayank Grover. I'm the founder of Outscale. I wanted to take a minute to tell you about our flagship game development program where we take students all the way from starting to job ready in 6 months. We directly partner with over 100 plus game companies where we help students directly crack into these companies by giving them the right kind of skills, both technical as well as non technical, and getting them in front of these companies for interview processes. If you're interested in becoming a full stack game developer, please check out our website, www.outscale.com, or check the link in the description below. Now, back to this episode.
Then we also need a new panel. So we will just drag this task panel inside our game panel because we want this task panel to be shown only whenever we are in our game, right? And we will create one more panel, and this will be, we'll call this task info panel. Okay, let's set the color alpha to be 0. Right click and create a UI image, and let's set the width to be somewhat like this. You can just manually set it, or you can just stretch the image and set it. Okay, so we are not going to make the logic for all the tasks. We will have some universal thing where you can only have 2 buttons, whether we have to complete or not, and the description of task. All the other stuff like the processes which goes under completing the task, like where in the real game, like you are connecting the wires and connecting some circuits, all those things we are not going to do, but you can always add those things if you want. But here we are going to create something very easy and simple, just to make sure that we have something to complete our task and all those things. And let's set the source image to this curved circle. Okay, now inside this we'll create a new text, and we will call this task. Let's call task title text. Align, best fit, let's try to make it white, and let's add the outline. So let's see if you have any font. Okay, this one is better. Okay, just arrange them in a proper way so that they looks in better. And I will call this is the task title. So this will just show that what is the task area and what is our task. Then we have 2 more buttons. So right click, create UI button. So first will be leave button. So let's say if player don't want to complete a task and want to leave, then he can just click on this leave button, and we will make the leave button to be red, showing that this is not a correct option for them. And let's set the best fit and color to be white. I will call this leave, and then again anchor these things. Let's first duplicate, and let's make one more, and this will be complete button. So by clicking on this button, we will make sure the task is completed, and this will be green, mentioning that this is the correct option for the player to make. So complete. Okay, now we can anchor them. So let's anchor. Okay, and leave button as well. Anchoring is very important, guys. because it will make sure that your game UI looks same throughout all the devices. And let's do one more thing. Instead of setting the text to be maximum size to be 40, let's make it to 25, so that both of them look same as they look different. Okay, so now we have our two buttons, we have our task info panel as well. So now we are good to go with our coding. So let's deactivate this thing. Let's go to our game UI. So as we are going to use UI, so we'll call using Unity Engine .ui, and for now we only have one button to be included in this script, that is our minimap button. So we'll create a private button, minimap button. Okay, and so let's save this thing and let's go back. So for minimap we have to add our minimap camera as well, right? So we know our main camera. So our main camera doesn't render any objects on minimap layer, right? And we all know that our this Among Us skeleton map. So set the layer of this skeleton map to be minimap layer, and then all these info icons of our task all are on minimap layer. So we need to create one more camera which will render all those things. Let's duplicate our main camera and let's call this minimap camera, and here in culling mask let's select nothing, and then let's select minimap layer. Okay, so now it is showing, and instead of using solid color, use depth only, and depth will be 0. Okay, and now it is showing. I don't know why it was like that. And let's increase the size of this so that it fits our minimap. Okay. Okay, so now we are able to see our skeleton map. So let's deactivate our skeleton map and deactivate our minimap, and we need to activate them whenever we click on this button. So in our button we have, let's make this serialized field so that we can add the button in our inspector. Then we need to create a private camera, or we'll call this game object because we are just going to activate them. So game object minimap camera, and we can also give reference to our skeleton map. So let's give it call this skeleton map, and we'll again make this thing a serializable field. Okay, and let's for now remove start and update because we are not going to use them, and we are going to have one method. Okay, so now in this button, activate map button, we have activated our minimap camera as well as skeleton map, but we want to make sure that with the same button we can activate or deactivate our minimap. So for that what we can do is, so let's say whenever our minimap camera is active we want to deactivate, right? So in Unity we have one way to detect whether the game object is active in the scene or not, and what we can do is we can just call our minimap camera and we can click on dot and we can look for active in hierarchy. So as you can see here, active in hierarchy, what it does is it defines whether the game object is active in the scene. So let's say if this thing returns true, that means our minimap camera is active. And if we click on our minimap button and our minimap camera is active, that means we want to deactivate it. So what we will do is, if this thing returns true, then we just inverse it by adding this exclamatory mark. So if this is true, then this entire thing will be set to false because of this exclamatory mark, and then our minimap camera will be set to false. If this is false, then this entire thing will set to true and our minimap camera will be activated. And the similar thing we can do for our skeleton map as well. So just copy this, paste it here, and instead of minimap we will have a skeleton map. So let's save this thing. Okay, I think we don't need this minimap button thing because we are going to assign the method directly to our button. So let's go back to our editor. In our canvas, select minimap button. You can see we have this button element in which we have this on click. Click on this and let's assign our game UI. Okay, so first of all we need to drag our game UI on our game panel. So we have this script on this game panel. Then let's drag our minimap camera. So minimap camera here goes, and our skeleton map, it goes here. Even if you don't activate and deactivate skeleton map, that will be fine, because just by activating and deactivating our minimap camera, we are already making that thing possible for our map as well. Okay, so select the minimap, drag our game panel, go to no function, go to game UI and select where it is activate map button, and we will call this main camera our game camera. So let's click on play and see how it works. So if I click on map, you can see our, okay, this is at the very top, I don't know why. Okay, this thing went up, how it went up. So let's adjust it again. Okay, unable to move, why? Okay, it is not able, I don't know why. Okay, it is resetting. Okay, our minimap camera script, okay, got it. So you guys, we have this camera follow script attached to it. So let's remove it because we duplicate our game camera, so it got all the things which it had. So let's remove the script, remove this audio listener because we only want one, and let's try now. Let's click on this button, and yeah, this is how our minimap looks. You can see our info icon for our targets is showing here as well. But one thing, guys, we right now don't know our position for our character, right? So we also need that. So what we can do is, in our this art asset UI, we have this character icon. Let's drag it here, and let's set it to be minimap layer, and let's set the order in layer to be 11, and let's click on play. Click on this minimap icon, and you can see our player icon is now showing. If I try to move, the icon also moves, and I can go towards the minimap like this. So in the map you are able to see where the tasks are and where the player is, and everything now works fine. Okay, so now we are able to like see where our tasks are, and we can look at ourselves as well. Now we also need to complete the task, right? We have to make sure that whenever the player goes near the task, he has the ability to complete those things. And for that, we have already created one button, that is task action button. Now one thing, guys, we don't want our task action button to be interactable when our character is moving throughout the map, right? We want to make it interactable only when the character is in the range of the task, right? So let's make it interactable false at the start, and we will make it interactable only when it is in the range of any task. Now for that, go to our UI and click on this task UI, and we have to add few more methods to our this task UI script. So we need a private game object variable, and we will call it task panel and make it a serialized field. Then a serialized field private text variable and call it task panel title text. Then create a private task base variable and call it underscore current task in range, and an int variable and call it underscore current task index. Now create a public void task open button method. Inside this method, we will make our task panel dot set active true. Then we set the task panel title text dot text equal to underscore current task in range dot task info dot task area plus our current task in range dot task info dot task description. Okay, then after that we create a public void leave task button method, and inside it we set the task panel dot set active to false. Then create a public void complete task button method. In this method, we first make our task panel dot set active to false. Then we get the task text list, and we go to our current task index element, and we access dot color and we set the color to color dot green. Then we call underscore current task in range dot task complete method. After that we increase the task completed count by 1. And then we set the task progress bar fill amount equal to task complete count, which we cast as a float, divided by task text list dot count. Then create a public void set player current task method. Now this method takes parameters like task base, which we name as current task in range, and int current task index variable. Inside, we check if current task in range is not equal to null. Then we set underscore current task index equal to current task index. Then we set current task in range equal to current task in range, and task button dot interactable is equal to true. And in else condition, we set underscore current task in range equal to null, and task button dot interactable equal to false. So let's go to our player now. Now in our player we need to create few methods so that we can make sure the task or which is the current task and activating and deactivating all those things. So as you can see here, we have created two methods, on trigger enter 2D and on trigger exit 2D. So it is a 2D game, so we are using these two methods. Now these two methods are Unity's default method. So whenever the game object whose collider is trigger is come in contact with any other game object with the collider, this on trigger enter is get called, and whenever it exit any collider, then this is get called. So here we are first checking if our collision dot get component. So whatever collider we are colliding has a component of task base, then we are sure that this is the task area or location. And then we go to our task UI. So here we have created a new variable task UI, and at the start only we are getting the reference to what task UI. We know we are going to have only one task UI in our game, so that's why we can do this thing. Then we call our task UI, we call the set player current task method, and we send the information of the task and the index. So let's write the code. Okay, now this thing is a shortcut. If you want, we can always do like this, like int index is equal to 0, and we will do for loop, and we have task dot count, and here we can check if this thing, let's copy this, is equal to task I. Then we set our index is equal to I and we break. Okay, so this entire code is this thing. So instead of let's say if we remove this, we can pass index here. This should be index. So this thing where we loop through all the task count and check if it is a task base, these two are same. If these two are same, when we set the index to I and we pass it. So this is similar to what we have done here. This is the C Sharp's default way of doing it. Like easy way, straightforward. Okay. Now this is for on trigger, right? On trigger enter. Now for on trigger exit, we are again checking whether it is a task base, and here we check if whatever the task we have collided is similar to the task UI current task. So in our task UI, we created a getter for it. So we have this current task in range, and we get the current task in range, right? So if these two are same, then we are setting our current player task null and this to 0. Okay, so I think on code level everything is done. Let's save all this thing and go back to our editor and let it compile. Okay, now it is compiled. Now for our player to trigger, we want to make sure that let's remove this. Okay, now in our player we only have one collider, and which is not a trigger, but we want to make sure that we can get access to that on trigger enter thing. So for that, copy this thing and paste it as a new, right? Let's double click on player to zoom in. So as you can see, this is a circle. I will just set it to 0.55, and this one, the outer one, will be the is trigger. Let's save all this thing and let me see in our canvas game panel. Okay, everything is there. Then our this UI panel. Okay, for our UI panel, for our task button, let's drag task action button. Then for our info panel, let's drag our task info panel, and inside that we have this task title, right? Okay, so everything is done. Let's try, click on play and let's try it. So as you can see right now, our use button is not interactable. Let's go to our map and let's see where it is a task. Okay. So let's go near to task, and you can see as soon as we go near to the task, this button gets interactable. If I go away, it gets the interactable is no more. Okay, if I click on this use, okay, nothing happens. Okay, we forgot to assign methods for our button, so let's assign them. So task action button, click on this plus icon. So our method is on task UI. So let's drag our task panel, go to our task UI and select our task open button. In our task info panel, select both of them, and okay, it is I think in task UI only. Let's drag our task panel. So for leave, go to task UI, leave task button. For complete, go to complete task button. So now we have assigned methods to our button as well. So now this time it should work. So let's click on play and let's try. Okay, this one, let's go it. The speed is too small. Let's click on use and okay. So as soon as we click on use, our task info panel activates, and here it is telling it is a upper engine task, and the task is to fix, I don't know what to fix, and we have two options, leave, complete. If I click on leave, we still have the task pending, but if I click on complete, our UI, this button is no more interactable, the icons are deactivated, and you can see the text is now green and our fill bar has filled. And if I go, so this one was for upper engine, right? So in our upper engine, I think it was this one, right? If I double click, yeah, it was this one. So you can see now the collider is also deactivated. So if you want, you can again, let's try some other task. Let's try this one, complete, and you can see we have completed. So this way guys, you can, let me just go one more. Okay, so if I, okay, click on. So now currently you can see we have this simple panel and just it says that leave or complete. But instead of this panel, you can have your own thing, like you have these wires here and you have to connect those wires, and once the wire gets connected, you can just click on this complete, or this button gets activated. Or you can have this downloading files thing. Once the download is complete, this button gets activated and then you can click on it. So like that thing. So guys, I think this is for this tutorial. So we have achieved completing our task and showing them on our minimap things. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video. So bye.